Yo yo yo. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, this video should be in 4K. So I don't know if this is actually going to work or not, but let me know if the quality is any better or anything. Sorry, my son's freaking out in the background. I'm going to do an update as quick as possible. I know that we just got done with the holiday. So we had a shorter day in the market, as well as Thursday off. So hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving with your family, etc., etc. I gotta watch the kids, so I'm gonna just knock this out right quick. I've been setting up my desk and everything. That's why I know technical updates have been coming out. I've been trying to just post the charts on Twitter and then talk through them in like just iPhone video mode. But anyway, um, yeah. So anyway, whenever we were up here a few days ago, how long ago was that? Would have been like, yeah, we were. It was like 2 or 3 days ago. Yeah, like Monday, right? Yeah, we were up here Monday, the 22nd. So whenever we were up here, obviously the main scenario that I talked about in the video following that was that we were gonna have that what it looked like was happening was a Wyckoff distribution to the downside. Um, that I discovered about halfway through the video. It ended up playing out. For for reasons. Anyway, these patterns are institutional. They're like retail's not in control of the stock here. Okay, guys, like retail has a certain amount of control in my opinion. Like there's a certain amount of like retail support that exists that creates a certain floor, right? And that's what Wyckoff is all about, right? It's all about institutions finding the bottom of the demand, right? Like pushing demand as far down as they possibly can in order to accumulate shares for as cheap as possible, and exhausting retail out of their positions by causing price spikes and then causing sell-offs. As you can see here, we had a longer-term distribution here whenever we ran up to $52, for example. It's a constant cycle that's happening in these Wyckoff schematics, and to be honest with you, you can see this in pretty much every asset. So this isn't anything that is unique to AMC or anything like that. So there's not a unique scenario playing out on this chart. Um, I mean, just to show you a few examples, right? Like this distribution here, I'm just gonna box here. This was a distribution here. This is a distribution. This is a distribution here. And even if I zoom in further, you're gonna see smaller and smaller distributions. And I'll talk about that in a minute whenever I give you kind of my forecast for what I think is going to happen, at least on Monday. But as things stand, like where we are now, this looks good, right? This white support line at the bottom, this bull trend, I'll change it to green so that it's a little bit more different. And look, I mean, this rejection is fine. Okay, this is a bear trend that we're dealing with. We're constricting into this zone. Whenever you see volume spikes on the chart, especially in the accumulation range, they're overwhelmingly bullish, right? You look at OBV. OBV is a very good thing to look at for AMC, and I'll just show you that right quick, which is on balance volume. Basically, the way that it works is anytime that a candle closes, the volume is counted, okay? And the volume, if it's a green candle, is added to this number, and if it's a red candle, it's subtracted. So even though we've been in this relative downtrend in price, shout out to Tyler with option drops because he uses this as well in his videos, and he's really good at using it. But even though we've been in this general downtrend in price, right? You see OBV, the on balance volume, is in a general uptrend. See here? And even where we've established, and this is he actually says that he uses a 4-hour chart. I mean, it's gonna be different with each one, right? Because it whatever candles, but so maybe that's where yeah. So I mean, look at this. Yeah, the 4-hour is even more aggressively to the upside, and you can also see here that you have basically you're forming this support, right? Essentially, on balance volume is actually extended well above the on balance volume in this phase of AMC's life cycle, right? So the $52 spike that we had. So that's bullish, right? Because it insinuates that institutions are accumulating. We have the Wyckoff accumulation pattern that we've been talking about forever. And I was talking to Trey about this the other day. This part of Wyckoff accumulation is a difficult, like, it's meant to be this grueling, mentally taxing process. I believe that we're in phase D of Wyckoff accumulation. And I can show you up. Just a description of this LPS phase that we're in. Right? So sorry about the brightness. You were up close, probably destroyed. But I believe that we're in phase D, and we're in this kind of phase where we're going to keep on having these LPSs. And what LPS means is its last point of support, the low point of a reaction or pullback after an SOS. Backing up to an LPS means a pullback to support that was formerly resistance on diminished spread and volume. On some charts, there may be more than one LPS, despite the I don't even know what that means, ostensibly singular precision of this term, right? So what they're saying is they call it last point of support, but it can happen more than one time, right? And even if you refer to the phase that I think that we're in, which is phase D, if we are correct in our analysis, what should follow is a consistent dominance of demand over supply. This is evidenced by a pattern of advances, SOSs, on widening price spreads and increasing volume, as well as reactions, LPSs, on smaller spreads and diminished volume. During phase D, the price will move at least to the top of the trading range. LPSs in this phase are generally excellent places to initiate or add to profitable long positions. So basically, what I'm like taking away from this process and where I think that we are, is that we're coming back and we're testing the horizontals. Okay, so every time that we run up, right, we have a move to the upside, we get rejected down, but we find support, right? And when we find support, we're finding support at these key zones where we've been rejected or found support in the past, right? And so what I'm basically trying to get at here is that it's a grueling process, because what is happening is the institution or composite man, or however you want to look at the situation, is intentionally driving the price up and then shooting the price down in order to find a point of support, find out where that liquidity is. They're buying it back up, and then they're forcing it back down to do that. And so it's meant to be this grueling process, okay? And you heard, whenever I read that, or you saw it yourself, within this you have signs of strength, right? So as I've described before, you have shorter term accumulations that are occurring, like this would be a rough one that I draw here, right? So then you have a sign of strength where you break above the trading range here, you come back, retest that trading range, and then you shoot back up for a markup, and then a short term distribution. All right. So going into Monday, what are we expecting? And I might make another video that's a little bit more specific about this. I have a few videos that I want to work on about a few different things that are going on. You can see here that where the volume is getting spread out here more among the days, right? So here you see this really tight wound volume during this day. It's more sporadic back here. You can see that the volume is starting to be a little bit more consistent, right? You see these sporadic volume spikes. Now volume looks really good, especially here. I mean, November 26th, this looks like a very strong volume day. This is the minute chart, by the way. Let's look at the relative. Maybe our recent. Oh, it doesn't look that impressive. Wonder why it looks so spiked up. I've been weird. But anyway, all right, short term. What's happening Monday? That's probably what a lot of people want to know. A lot of people probably rather me not make video explaining what happened Monday, I guess, because they always say that I'm wrong all the time. that, even though like I essentially know what's going to happen. Obviously, I'm not trying to predict the exact future. I'm more of just trying to play through scenarios. So yeah. Anyway, look. This is that distribution that I was talking about. This is what was making me call for downside to this last point of support here, where we were going to find this upward trend line. Um, and now what this looks like to me, a short term. I know we're using this pre-market well, and obviously we had this like COVID news, the African variant of the virus. Closet Man has a plan for everything. Uh, and you can see that that horizontal line that I drew earlier is now playing as a short-term resistance here. I see this as a short-term accumulation. Okay, so I see this as accumulation here. Then when market opens, you had your sign of strength. You broke above the trading range, and now you're coming back and you're retesting. So like I know it's crazy to look at this chart and think this way, I guess, but you can see here that as we discussed before, there's pretty clearly a trading range that was established here, right? And then obviously your tests and whatever. So now what's happening is I think you've already had your markup here. You've had another distribution occur, right? Um, so this is happening really fast. Sorry, this is actually another accumulation. Oh, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna have to. Yeah, I'm just drawing roughly. You get the idea. Or the trading range. So, yeah, right now we're sitting right above that teal line that I drew earlier. Or wait. Oh no, is this where we went in post market? I'm sorry. The hell? Yeah, it is where we went. Oh, okay. Well, this is actually pretty good. All right, so I think that this is an accumulation, as we showed on the screen earlier. Let me show that again. Uh, these videos are for education. Full of the videos now. Not sorry. So yeah, so you had your sign of strength. You broke the trading range. You came back for your backup LPS. Now this is looking either reaccumulative. The volume, the candles look distributive, if I'm being honest with you. Like you got these big red, right? So like most of the volume belongs to red, right? So usually that's a sign of distribution. At least when you're like trading range, that's how I like to look at it. At least that's one of the main things that I do. Like if I'm scalping or something, I always look okay on these many candles is red diamonding. I even look down at the second chart. Let's do that. I'll look down at the second chart and see, because dude, I am convinced that they purposely do this thing where they'll buy a big block and then they'll sell off and make the candle red so that you think that it's a bearish candle, but it's actually bullish. But yeah, so this is the second chart. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'd say that for the most part, it does look like the red candle dominating, unless they're trading on half-second time frame, which they very well could. But yeah, so what I think you're probably gonna see, yeah, I mean, this looks. But again, you got to realize that when I'm saying that, make sure you're keeping it in context, right? This area of the chart, this accumulation that I was referring to, took a whole 2 hours. Okay, so this distribution, I mean, it could be a reaccumulation. Out looks like a or like it could mark up. Well, no, we came back down. Okay, so maybe the distribution is already done. All right, guys. Yeah, I thought I knew what I was doing before I started. Yeah, I'm having one of those Dave moments again. Here he goes. Now he's gonna tell us the bearish stuff. Well, we're already down here at 37.25. You got to realize that this backup LPS phase is actually just a distribution. So it's okay. We're coming back here. We're back in the trading range. Perhaps we come back down here to this, like if he really wants to about he being the composite man. Take us back down to this 3710. I've noticed like we were trading the shit out of mana the last week or so. Sorry about the cursing, but me, Rico, Esther, we were trading the shit out of mana the past week or so. Especially, well, I mean, the last like couple weeks. But I was noticing that these backup last point of support phases, they've been really extending back down into the trading range. And that's just to liquidate people, liquidate long. I'd say that you'll probably see that this finish it's moved down to like 37, 37.10. And then you're gonna continue this uptrend in my opinion. That's what I think you're gonna. So bigger time, kind of what I drew Twitter and had the video on before, which is we kind of just can this move up. And yeah, I mean, we could go to 40. I thought we would go to 40 today. Maybe the COVID news kind of played a role in that because I mean, Max Payne was 40, so market makers lost money today on that. Um, but yeah, so yeah, maybe you see this markup and we go up to 40. Happens after that, Dave. What happens after? Well, the markup to 40 brings us to the top of this top of but it's gonna bring us to this range. What we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to establish. I mean, it could be time. I mean, we're really getting into a crunched up zone. Like a breakout has to happen. Breakout out or has to happen by December 7th. It'll probably be earlier. This, like this has to happen relatively soon. First couple weeks of December. So, and I think it'll be sooner than, based on. So that's pretty much my take on it. I'd say that going into, we're gonna see what we do here at these $32 levels, break above here. I said in a video a few weeks ago that until we truly break above our trading range, I'll show here. Until we truly break above our trading range here, right? And then we come back and establish some support here, right? It's gonna be difficult for us to know that really gonna get that impressive move. But what I will say is that my conviction is that that time is nearing. It can just be difficult because of the phase that we're in, this LPS phase. Really meant to bring confidence back into the stock, but at the same time still absorb liquidity, absorb more of the stock. And the way that they do that is by creating these excitement points, selling off to make people feel like, oh no, we're hopeless. We're never gonna go up again, ever, blah blah blah. And I know that for the most part, that's not what's going on in the ape community. I'm just saying that that's what the strategy is, right? And we know that not everyone who owns a stock is an ape. So we have to understand that there is still liquidity to be had. There's still stock to be had in AMC, right? Day traders, shorter term holders, people who may have just heard about the stock, whatever. Um, and so that is the institutional strategy. I believe that the institution bullish, the institutions that are in control. So even if they push us down, that would, in my opinion, even if they were to send us down here and create this crazy spring sort of scenario or something like that, I would still be bullish because overall, overwhelmingly, the volume has been bullish, the price action has been bullish, the in my opinion. And I would expect that that real upside is coming soon. When I say soon, I can't give you an exact timeline. Uh, and I'm definitely no longer going to be trying to call when in the big move, the hundreds happen or whatever. But I will say that we are getting into a restricted zone here. It's pretty clear that, my opinion. So that's my bias. And also that I could be completely wrong. So hopefully you appreciated the video. Hopefully you learned something. Down in the description below, you're going to find my Twitter, my Discord. My Discord's completely free to join. It's a cool community. Bunch of guys talking about TA, girls talking about TA in there. I just got my office reset up. I gotta find, you know how you get like all kinds of wires and stuff over the years. I got a camera and everything. I just gotta find all the stuff that I need to set it up. Should have a camera soon. I got lights and stuff, so should be upgrading the setup, and that's gonna be happening soon. The Patreon's gonna happen too. We just kind of up and moved the my office, so I've been putting everything on delay. Literally scalping crypto on my phone at this point. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like on it. Let's make the goal for likes 1,000 likes on this video. Can we get 1,000 likes on this video? Probably not, because I didn't say it at the beginning. But if I did, we might have been able to. I appreciate you guys' support as always, and enjoy your weekend with your family. All right, take it easy.